Good morning. Today, what we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to calculate the resistor, the dropping resistor for replacing the selenium rectifier with a silicon rectifier. For the diode, you can use a 1N4007. I'm not sure what the specs. I think it's 1 amp, 1000 volts. This is a 10A10. I have a lot of these, and this is basically a 10 amp diode at a 1000 volt 10 amp rectifier diode. So I mean, if you use these, and you can get these are pretty readily available, and they're very cheap. So that's what I'm going to use because I got a lot of those. Let's see. So what we're going to do now is we broke the connection between the output of the diode and the input to the radio, and there's already a resistor there, so we're just going to be adding to that. I'm going to leave that one in there. We're going to put we're using a resistance substitution box. If you don't have one of these, you don't necessarily need it, but you should try to get one. You can find these on eBay. They're all over the place. You can just series resistors together until you get the value you want to, but this just makes it easier. With this box, if you wanted 40 ohms, you just click the 40 switch. If you wanted 50 ohms, you click 40 and 10, and now you would have 50 ohms. If you click another 20, you'd have 70, and then 30 would be 100. Or you could just click the 100 switch, obviously. But that's how it basically works. And you start, it tells you on the bottom here, start with all the switches closed, which is down, and then open only those that add up to the value desired. So that's how that works. So we're going to separate the connection between the output of the diode to the input of the radio, which is the B+. We're going to take one lead of the multimeter and connect it to the one end of the line cord, and the second lead is going to connect to where the input of the radio is, which would be the output basically of this. So this is going in, and then this one here is going out to the radio. So we're just going to put it here. We're going to put it right here to the output, and then we'll tighten it down. And we'll put that there. So basically that is connected to here, which would be the B+ of the set. And then I don't know if you can see let's put the meter right here, I guess. Can you see it anywhere? I don't know if you can see it. Alright, there you go. Alright, so let's move this back a little bit, I guess. We don't want to make sure nothing shorts. Alright, so go ahead, we'll turn it on. Okay, so it's working. Okay, we got it exactly 120 volts, and we see that there's 122 volts across that resistor. Add 10, and now we want to drop the voltage about 10 volts. So with nothing, with no resistor, we got about 122, 123 volts. So we can add 10, and that drops it to 120. This would be 30 ohms. It drops it to 116. We want to get it to about 112 and add, let's see, another 30, which is good. So 30, 40, 50, so 60 ohms. Let's see how the radio works. Seems like it's working okay. There's no antenna connected to it right now.
I have a question about the thermal, and a lot of decisions I have to make right now, and I'm trying to
Okay, well, you know, it's down to 111. I'd like to, what do we have? We have 40. No, we have 30, 40, we have 60 ohms. This would be 50. 113. I think 50 is probably a little better. 113. And again, with nothing, you had 123. So adding Let's see, adding 40 ohms was about 115. I mean, even 40 ohms is probably okay. So for this radio, between 40 and 50 ohms would be okay. I brought a couple of packs of resistors in here. We're going to make it up. So, let's see. Let's do, let's see. What can we make up here that'll work? I've got some 270 ohm, which we're not going to use that, obviously. There's some 20 ohm. I guess we can use that. We'll do that. Alright, we're going to do, let's see, we're on 50. Let's see, what was 40 ohms gave us about 115 volts, and without any resistance. So it's 122. And I don't really know, I think that the B plus is probably around, should be around 115, I'm sure. I did find a schematic online, and they're saying that the input of this radio should be 117, 117 volts, but it doesn't really show, it doesn't show what the B plus should be. I was looking, there was one, well, let's see. Unless I'm just not seeing it, I don't know. I don't see. I mean, there's no, this is a selenium diode that we're going to replace. And it shows that this resistor right here, but still no. There's the capacitor we have to replace. So, and that's another thing. It's a 40 microfarad, 20 microfarad, and a 200. So that's what we're going to be replacing as well today. Let me make this lower a little bit. See, it's even dropping a little bit. So I think we're going to go with 40. We're going to go with a 40 ohm. That'll work. 40 ohms is going to be a good drop for this. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, so now we can remove this. Let's go ahead and get the let's get the voltmeter out of the way here for right now. You get out of there. Alright. You know, these radios are they don't have to be exact either. They're very, tube circuits are very forgiving. They're not, you know, they don't have, even with capacitance values, it just so happens, you know, I picked the right capacitance value. Basically it's a 40, we put 33s in there, and then the other one was a 200 and I put a 220, so I did guess it right, but a lot of these radios are those values anyway. I think the one of them was, what was it, 40, 40, 20, and 200. And they were 150 volt, and 20 volts. So the 200, where is it? The 200 is 20 volts. That's kind of interesting. All the other ones are 150. It looks like. No, no. The 200 microfarad is 10 volts. The 40, 40, and 20 is 150. That's kind of, I mean, that's what it is. So anyway, so here we got some 20 ohm. Let's see, we got 20 ohm. How are we going to do this? Let's see. What else? What other resistors do we have here? What else were the other ones? Let's see. No, that's about it. So we're going to use these 20s. And what we'll do, I like to, if you use, I don't have, these are half-watt resistors, which are okay. But what we're going to do, because we need 40, is we're going to put two of them in series, obviously. And that'll kind of give a little extra. I'm going to put that in some heat shrink as well. That'll give a little bit extra You know, it'll divide the current just a little bit. Let's cut that off. We'll solder it together. So these are half watt. Half watt should be fine for this circuit. Well, ooh, look at that. That shot away pretty good. So that's 40 ohms. When you take resistors and you put them in series, it doubles the resistance. If you put them in parallel, it divides it. So if you put 220s in parallel like this, it becomes a 10 ohm. If you do it like this in series, this 20 will become a 40. All right, let's grab some heat shrink. Here's some heat shrink right there. We'll put use some of this black heat shrink right there. Let's see. Should that be good? Yeah, that'll be good. All right, let's solder it up first, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Nice solder. Alright, so let's see. These are the capacitors, so we just push that off to the side for right now. Try to make this as neat as possible here. This is the wire that's coming off. We can make this shorter, actually. We can try to get this, it's in an odd spot here. I'm going to leave the one side connected, and we'll disconnect the other side. I think it should be okay. Let's cut this back a little bit. And we'll add a little spawn of solder on there. Get on there. That's good. Alright, you get out of the way right there. Would be nice, what you should also do, especially if you're going to use this radio for anything. If you're doing this to a radio that you're actually going to use, you should put a fuse right after. I'll show you where to do it. You should put it on the line cord, you know, before the diode. Just put a fuse in there, and this way, if the thing has to blow, it will. You know, you should do that. Let's see. Let's see what we could do. We could put this over. We'll do this for right now. These are flame-proof resistors, by the way. You only want to use flame-proof. See, where is that? It says flame-proof right there. Alright. Let's see how we're going to do this. Let's make, where's my long news? All this has to be in a way where it's not going to interfere with anything else as well. This resistor, let's see, we're going to have to get in here too to replace that. We're going to have to replace that capacitor, so we're going to be doing that next. What I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this off. We're going to make it short, and then I'll put we'll bend that in half. We'll bend a U out of this, and we'll just, we'll go ahead and, I just want to get it as short as possible so there's not, we don't have too much stuff to bend around in there. Alright. The old J hook. Or in this case it's the U hook. Alright, let's tighten that up a little bit. We can always slide some heat shrink over it afterwards too. I'd like it to stay like that. Come on, get up there. Just bent out of the way. Alright. There you go. Let's get it up there like that. Go ahead and get some solder in there. Remember, guys, heat your work, not the solder. Let's get a big lump on there. There you go. There you go. All right. We could throw another piece of shrink right over that too. We'll do that. Why not? You know, I got the little extra piece that we cut off of that one. It'll probably fit right over it. Just right over like that. That's all you need. All right, there you go. Shrunken down, shrunken down. And then this side here, we'll just go, I don't want to break this resistor, and I can just feel it happening. Hold on a second. We're going to bend it back this way. Let's see, we can do it like this. And then have this. Let's see, how are we going to do this so it's not... You can get another piece of shrink over that. Let's see, let's use this one here. Yeah, this will work. This way it'll be, we'll leave this wire nice and long. Is that going to fit over that? Nope. We got to bend it the other way because it won't fit over the other wire. That's okay though. It doesn't really matter. All right, get off there. Pull that back. Let's see. Be nice if I could, I need one more hand now. Come on. Alright, there you go. We've got a nice big glob on there. Slide that over. Heat it. Do the old shrinkaroo. Alright. Push this back in like this. We don't want that near the, let's bend it more this way. I think we're good like that. We're going to have to remove this on this side anyway. We're going to have to do some cutting. Alright, so, alright, let's see. This one, I don't remember which I think this one went here. Just for trying it out here. Let's see if that. It's actually louder now. Alright.
Hi, Father Rocky.
I guess we could figure out which one of these is which capacitor, and we can replace those. Where was the scheme? So we got the negative. Let's see. We got a 40. The two 40s are, let's see here. We got one of the 40s is going to, I can't even see it. It goes to an 8200 ohm resistor. If we could figure it out. What I'm just going to do, let's remove all these. We'll just clip the lead right off the end. If I can get in there to do it. I'm just going to cut, get it, if I can, like with this bigger cutter here, we'll just cut, because there's a lot, especially this terminal here, there's a lot of wires on there. So I could just cut the whole thing off. I don't know if I can get in there to do that or not. Maybe we could just fatigue it off, bend it back and forth. I wonder if we'll do that before any of the wires and stuff come off it. I'm not sure. I think that's we got to get it off though. It's got to come off. I hate leaving them in circuit. It just you know, if the thing ever decides to short over time, that's not going to be good. But there's no room in there to really work it. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this, and then I'll so you're not bored by me cutting wires off, and then I'll come back after we get it off. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Okie doke. So what we did is we replaced the electrolytics, and using the schematic, I was able to figure out which wire was which one. Again, there were two 40s, a 20 and a 200, and there's my work right there. I disconnected all of them from the original, and I just left the which would be the ground, but this capacitor is isolated. It's not connected to chassis ground, so we just used those. So I had a place to tie them off, and I didn't have to put a terminal strip in there. So that's the whole thing right there. So it's all in. Here's the new diode right in here with the resistor. Here's the original dropping resistor, which originally was across here, but I think it's okay here. It's you know, I don't. You really want to try to keep things that heat up away from capacitors, so that's why I moved it over here. And really, the only thing over here is this selenium rectifier, which is not in the circuit any longer. So I think this is a good place for it. I think that's good. I think we're okay. We're going to see how hot it actually gets anyway. We're going to put it on. But so now the only thing, the clips we have are the antenna. Here was our test capacitors right here. These are our test caps. But we didn't use those because they were 33s. I replaced them with 247s, a 220, which is this one, and a 22. Alright, so let's see what she does. We ready? I'm not going to touch it just in case. Probably have it facing that way just in case. Huh? Alright, here goes nothing.
What we're talking
Perfect.
about today, generosity,
Very
charity,
clear.
love, that goes beyond just what is due. Am I? 81-64. The Houston Texans take Houston barbecue and play some football against the Chiefs. Day 5 on ESPN Radio 1100 AM and
You gotta shut that light.
This is JT from Home Excellence Sports Museum at Fountain Blue, Las Vegas.
we can. That's it.
Until it dispersed into orbs, the lights. The Celtics rolled in. Suggesting an electromagnetic component to this report.
Very nice, very
From
clear.
an international aspect to the phenomenon, there were two observers in Edmonton, Canada.
It's
who
getting
watched a
warm, but not
flat
too
black
warm.
triangle and an arrowhead-shaped craft for about a minute on October 26th of this year.
This is the actual on-off switch, which sticks through here. And when you shut the top, it just turns the radio on.
They heard no sound.
Alright, so
It did have an aura around it, made him think that it was.
let's go ahead and we'll get it back in the cabinet here, and then we'll see if it sounds any better. You know, maybe we could do like a slight alignment to it. Why don't we do that? It tells you what they are. And besides, I think we have alignment procedure right here anyway. Yeah, we do. Let's see. Connect oscillator to the converter grid. A dummy antenna would be a 0.1 microfarad. Input signal frequency 455 kilohertz. Set dial at 600 kilohertz. And adjust C14, 15, 16, and 17. Now we could do that. We can do those things. I guess that wouldn't be such a big deal. Alright, let's get set up and we'll do that real quick. Okay, hang on a second. Alright, so we got it back in the cabinet, and we're going to try to do an alignment. So the first one we're going to do is the IF. Actually, we'll do the converter. Let's see. No, well, we could do the IF first, I guess. Part of this, we only have 2 pages of this schematic, or 3, but all the a lot of it's not here. But alright, anyway, so C14, 15, 16, and 17, which are these, are what we're going to be adjusting. This is 14, no, this is 14, 15, right, yeah, okay, 14, 15, and then 16 and 17. So let's go ahead and turn the signal generator on. We'll have it set to 455 kilohertz right here. See? Right here, we have it set to 455 kilohertz, 30% AM modulation, which should be fine. Flip RF on. We'll do modulation on. Let's see, amplitude. Let me see. Okay, there it is. We'll do the amplitude 0, around 0, that's fine. That's fine. Alright, oh, yeah. So we're just going to tune. And you want to tune the radio just to a dead or a weak frequency. It doesn't really matter. And then just tune until you get the highest peak. Right there. That one was just slightly off. That one was slightly off. That one was slightly off. Come on. Okay, so it was slightly off. There you go. Alright. So then the next adjustment would be to set the oscillator, which, I mean, that let me see. Where is C2? I mean, I know it's going to be on the capacitor right here, right? So it says in here to set the generator to 1600 kilocycles, and then we'll do, so let's set it to 1600 here, hold on. $1,600 kilohertz, and then we'll go ahead and we'll set the, let's see, we'll set the dial at 1600. So we're gonna, it's right now, I mean, I don't know if the pointer is straight. Yeah, it is. To be honest, it's right on the money, so I'm not even going to touch that. It's right at 1600. And then and that was C4, so 4 is the closer one to the front, right? Let me see. Is that right? This is this way, so C4 is the front one, and then C2 is the one in the back, and it says C2. C2 should be 1400. Let's see, yeah, 1400 kilohertz. And then we set the dial to 1400, and that should set the oscillator. Okay, that one's a little off. Well, I mean, not much off, but it should be right in between, and it's right about, it's at about 15, so, let's see, that was C2, right? Let's see, C2, let me see, yeah, C2, which is the one that's, okay, it's this one here. Hang on a second. It's not doing anything. I mean, it's very, very vaguely doing something. Very vaguely. Yeah, it doesn't really do anything. I don't know. It's not... I guess we're just going to turn it one spot. It's very slightly higher, so... let's turn the generator off here for a second. Just turn the RF off.
A very special guest, the commissioner of the Big 12, Brett Yormark, here at the home of the Utes, ESPN 700, biggest name in the world.
I think there may be in the lid here this I don't know how the wires get to the antenna. There's definitely an antenna in that lid.
And then Jared taking off on that.
She just ran straight.
That's the one that was the...
Where they want it. I mean, can you imagine?
And if someone has your back, changes everything. Our family.
There's definitely a some wires that go. Let's take this off and look in there, but I can hear it crackly as we move it around. So I think it's from opening and closing it for 50 years. It seems like it's possible that maybe a wire is broken, or let's take a check at it here.
Weekday afternoons starting at 3 here on ESPN Las Vegas. Listen to Cofield and Company weekday afternoons at 3
Come on, get out of there.
ESPN Las Vegas.
Some glue in there, or wax.
You're listening to
Okay, I see how it works. It's just kind of on the hinge here, so they're just that they're loose. So these are actually part of the antenna. That's interesting. I guess we could shoot a little spray in there, maybe. Just right on the hinge. You know, if these loosen, then it doesn't make good contact for the antenna. I guess it is. Let's get all the garbage out of there. They're just sprayed in. May have to pull these off if I can and just tighten those screws. Let's see if we... Yeah. Let's try to add a little extra antenna here.
He holds the letter in front of him but something's wrong.
We steered towards.
About how the
That lead guitar is hot, but not for Louisiana man.
will also be
Weak. And this morning, drastic portions of Florida.
Yeah, not too bad. So we're going to have to do that. We got to get... I could see there's a little bit of play in there, so there must be a screw on each side of this that maybe we could tighten it up a little bit. And but this, everything in here looks okay. Really not much to that. So we'll have to do that. We're going to have to take the chassis out again, it looks like. We'll have to do that if we want to make it perfect. We'll have to take the chassis out and get underneath these handle and tighten those little hinges in there. It's only been 50 years, right? Come on. Like I said in another video, maybe I think it was the last video for this radio, I've actually opened these covers and found hidden stuff in these radios before. It's kind of funny that people do that, but you know, you hide something in one of these and 100 years passes by and you don't remember it's in there. Or somebody passes on and you know, they leave the radio or get rid of it. And, it's always fun to find something.
I got
Jarvis and the bear.
kicks off in June.
I want to get it to a weak, well, it seems like a weak station, and see if we can turn that, get the AC plug away from.
Rose 13, Daria Albinger, Bloomberg Business for
Let's see if we can turn that C2. You can't do it with a metal screwdriver. Just one spot, very slightly. I don't know if that's normal or not. And I don't know the placement of these wires, I guess I could look. Maybe it'll show it on the schematic, but I mean, how would it really? There's really no. It doesn't really show. It just shows that it goes to an antenna. You could just flip it around and see if it sounds any better, I guess. Let's see if it's any more sensitive if we just flip the wires around. Looks like we're going to have to use the pliers to get it in there. Here's one. It may not make a difference either, I don't know. Let's see.
Incorporate therapy into your life. And take your phone call. I live here. Hearing for yourself.
Yeah, I don't think it made a difference. Maybe.
The Coast to Coast AM Facebook page with thousands of members. It's great for show updates and connecting with other fans. Go to facebook.com/Coast to Coast AM and click the like
I'd like to
button.
hear a station ID so I know the dial's correct. Come on, let's hear a station ID.
Six temperature-controlled pools and relaxing, luxurious. Modelo is an official cerveza of the Las Vegas and the JT the Brick
Let's
Show.
leave this one. Maybe they'll
Modelo
do.
Especial is a rich, full-flavored Pilsner-style lager, delivering a crisp, refreshing taste. Brewed with fighting spirit since 1925.
Let's hear.
To the little girl so she can be launched with everybody else.
It's not about the injury, it's about the recovery. Murder of RFK. JFKVSCIA.com.
Hey, it's Sam from the What's Right show on KXNT.
Wow.
If you listen to me, you know.
More information. Rabies is real.
I guess we could use a signal generator.
They're worried about protecting their money. They'll pressure you to settle fast before you even know.
You know what, let's try. Let's do like
They'll act like they're doing you a
770
1,000 times.
kilohertz. Let's turn the RF back on.
Level the playing field. We deal with those
Let's
adjustments.
see. We have it set to 770, and that's where it is, right below 8. So it's pretty good. It seems like it's aligned properly. The only thing we really need to do now is just maybe tighten these. It seems better now, though, that I sprayed it. But alright, well, let's turn the mod off there. Yeah, it's working now. There you go.
Backed up. Happy holidays from families to yours. EXP Realty license number 3886.
Not the most sensitive.
The real estate guy.
You put your hand on the antenna, works a lot better.
Tailgate with Clay Baker, weekday morning on Raider Nation Radio 920 AM, KROV Las Vegas.
This is VSIN, the sports news from the Vatican and around quarter. $30,000 on the line. This is the Circa Friday Football Invitational, presented by Omaha Steaks.
What was this?
VSIN, the Sports Betting Network. Here's your host.
There's a nice distance station right in there.
Person returned to football Friday after an ankle injury. U.S. men's soccer will face
College football playoff top 25 show. The Sun Belt
Alright, well, anyway,
down the top.
that's how you turn it off. It's working good. It's not getting too hot. I feel a little heat coming out of the top there, but not too bad. It's the guts of it again. Let's turn it off here. We could put the bottom cover back on. I guess that could just stay hanging around in there. Just put it in the corner there so it doesn't touch anything, I guess. I'm assuming since this had batteries or battery option, there was probably some kind of clip and not screws holding this in at one time. Although, and the holes are not, what is the other screw? The screw holes that they go into are not doing too well. You know, they're just kind of, now this real nice heavy cord that I'm putting in there is probably going to strain it. Oop. But this is how I got it, so this is how we're going to put it back. Get back in there. And there's only two. I don't know, the other side doesn't really have, you know, it has to be upside down to get that screw in. You can't do this one. The screw is like right on the edge of the bottom, so it's not. I'm just going to leave. They're kind of loose, but I don't know. If somebody wants to put the original clips back in here, I don't want to stretch the holes any, you know. Anyway, that's it. Now the cord has its spot in the back there. There she is right there. You want to listen to it, you push that little clip down, you pick it up. You turn the power back on, of course.
Intended for spun relevant radio's enriching programming. Swipe until Wayne plugged the audio was on the phone.
Frank Gehry was 96. Marlon Wayans. And
The 7 game and 2 left. Doing Burbank and the wall.
You know, I wonder if it, you know, it's plugged into an isolation transformer. I wonder if it would work better just plugged directly. Let's see. Doesn't make any difference.
You see how much it becomes? It's very generous with the.
I don't know. Maybe.
Toyota, where it's fun to buy a car.
With 2 joules of Henderson
Toyota.
Casino and the Rainbow Club.
Alright, that was fun. Anyway, that's it for this butte. Thanks for watching, and I hope we learned something on this one. The only thing that I didn't tell you is where, if you're going to do this to one of these radios, you want to put a fuse in it. And you want to put the fuse right off the AC plug, preferably before the diode. So it doesn't matter, you know, anywhere in between the power plug and the diode is going to be fine. And then, you know, at least if something does short, it'll pop the fuse. And so it's 20 watts. So what's 117? It's 107. Well, 107. Well, 120 volts. Divided by 20 watts. So it'll be like 6/10 of a watt. I mean 6/10 of an amp. So that would be ideal. You know, maybe a 1 amp fuse. No more than a 1 amp fuse in there. Maybe even a half an amp, but no more than a 1 amp fuse. Anyway, that's it for this. Beautiful radio. Hey, look at that. The Zenette. That's the Zenette AC DC radio from I don't know when. It's pretty old. Pretty old. Anyway, thanks for watching. Be safe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you, and bye-bye.